Hello. Hello, dear student. Please confirm whether my voice is audible. My voice, audio, video, everything is okay before starting this discussion. Hello. Hello, dear student. Please confirm whether my voice is audible. It's okay before starting this discussion. Hello. चलिए. So, dear student, very good morning to all of you. Hope you all are doing well and आप बहुत अच्छे हैं, पढ़ाई करिए और उम्मीद करता हूँ आज का दिन आपके लिए अच्छा रहे. So, dear student, today we are going to see about 4th August, the Hindu newspaper analysis. So, dear student, our main intention of this discussion, we are going to find each and every article, how it is relevant for your examination, whether it is relevant for your prelims, mains, or interview. If it is relevant, then which part and what kind of question they can ask. And if it is relevant, then what are the additional information that you have to study. So these are the main focus area. We are not going to discuss, just read this newspaper for sake of reading this newspaper. We have to find the utility. And after watching this video, please go through this newspaper and study for read this newspaper just for 45 minutes. I'll take this video discussion 45 minutes and spend 45 minutes. So you'll get total 1.5 hour. And during my discussion, I'll give you 10 to 15 tasks. Okay, so you have to find, search and detail of it and make note of it during that discussion. And it is my promise you'll get 20 to 30 marks in UPSC prelims and 80 plus marks in UPSC mains also. Okay. So first thing is how you can get this PDF. So you can scan this QR code, join our application. So there you can join the premium infographics editions to get this PDF. And then those who are using iOS device or iPad device, you can download Class Plus application and use org code edge PKREAMEJ. Then you can also scan this QR code to join our Telegram. So there we are providing a lot of the current affair and daily MCQs, mains questions. So you'll get this benefit. Okay, next I'm discussing. So Lok Sabha disrupted as opposition 6 debate on the Bihar SIR, Special Intensive Revision Drive. So now recently the parliament session is going on. It's called monsoon session. So dear student, you have to study about the session of the parliament. There are 3 sessions of the parliament: monsoon session, winter session, okay? So and budget session. So there is a provision in constitution that in between two sessions there cannot be more than 6 months of duration. So that means budget has to assemble minimum twice in a year. Okay? So why this is disruption happening? What are the causes? This is not point of our importance because this is political news. But what is important for us is that parliament is meant for holding, make the executive accountable to the parliament. If this kind of disruption is being done by either opposition or the ruling party, if ruling party is, not cooperating in discussion and opposition is disrupting, ultimately we will lose the faith in our democracy. So you can see, you can discuss if you are writing something about, quality of this democracy, debate, discussion, and the participation. You can talk about that also. Recently, in the recent time, we are seeing that rising instances of disruption and unruly behavior within the parliament that led to the delay in passage of the key legislature and also impacting the executive accountable to the legislature. Okay, so this is what the importance of for our examination. So next is center hit back after Trump threatened to more tariff on India. So we are seeing that after Donald Trump coming into power, quite impulsive and make try to mend the world rule the way Donald Trump like to be. So tariff paid by India will substantially raise as it is keep profiting Russian oil, says US President. So Ministry of External Affairs said that US actively encourage Russian import since war in Ukraine point at UK trade with Russia. So less than a week after the announced 25% tariff on Indian plus a penalty, so US President Donald Trump once again raised the issue of Indian buying oil from the Russia. So we know that after this, the war with the Ukraine and Western sanction on the Russia is providing substantial concession oil to India. And you know that in India, 85% of our oil is made through the import. And mostly we are depending on the West Asia. For oil, we are depending on the West Asia. And we know that West Asia is known for its volatility and, price manipulation. Already, the USA sanction led to we are not buying oil from the Iran. So India always want to diversify its market, and we're buying oil where we're getting the cheap. Even USA is also protecting their national interest. So we are also mainly our aim is to protect our national interest. So we are buying Russian oil. So currently Russian oil contribute around 40% of total crude oil import. Okay. So next it should not be noted that such tariff are paid by the importer. So India said that it is very clearly. We have clearly said very clearly that. So dear student, please comment whether my voice, audio, video, everything is okay or not. Please comment in the comment box, like audio, video, if everything is okay or not. It is clearly audible or not, please. Otherwise, it's very difficult for me to know what's going on, what not. चलिए, जब भी आप आते हैं पहले एक बार मैसेज कर लीजिए everything is clear or not. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So India hit back that if there are additional tariffs, so it is not the Indian the exporter we are going to pay. It is the consumer of the USA that they are going to pay, and it is going to impact them more than it is going to impact us. Na? So Indian government hit back the Donald Trump statement, also criticized from European country on Indian trade with Russia, saying that targeting India was unjustified and unreasonable. Because in the past also we have seen how the Western country, particularly European Union, they are also doing trade and they are also getting a lot of gas from the Russia. But now it is their interest, so they are talking about single outing India. Okay, just read it out here. You can see here clearly. So European Union in 2024 had bilateral trade 67.5 billion in goods with the Russia, in addition to the trade in service estimated to the 17.2. So around you can see about $84 billion of trade. But they are talking about why India is doing trade with Russia. That is what called double standard. So first you have to tame your house before you are commenting other. So you have to make sure that your house is order before pointing figure at other. Na? So recently we have seen the last Siraj sizzled the Indian pool of dramatic victory at the Oval to level the series. So recently the Indian victory against the England led to the draw, like 2-2 series drawn. Okay. No need to know in detail about all this cricket news, because don't go by ball by ball commentary what happened. So these are not much important, but just know yes, something happened like that. Okay. So this series name is Sachin Tendulkar. Yes, Anderson and Tendulkar Trophy. So just know and match. 2x2 series is drawn. Chaliye. So Shibu Soren, key tribal leader, voice and former chief minister Jharkhand, died at 81. So देखो, not much important, but apart from contribution for tribal rights, he co-founded Jharkhand Mukti Morcha along with A.K. Roy and Vinod Bihari Hatto. So the JMM, Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, soon became the primary political voice for demand of this separatist tribal state and got support across the. Why it is important? So whenever you are seeing role of the civil society organization, role of the political, so JMM emerged as a civil society organization. So the demand for separate state, I think in society polity, you know that there is a demand for separation state. So whenever you are talking about how three state, I think you know about three state simultaneously being created: Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, and Uttarakhand. So how they have created. If you have to write something, then you should know about JMM. They demand separate state from the Bihar, and later on it is separated from the Bihar, and Jharkhand has been formed. He served as the chief minister of Jharkhand 3 times, but never completed terms. He also elected several times to the Lok Sabha from Dumka as key figure in the United Progressive Alliance government. And dear student, if you are trying to give exam in 2026, you know that after prelims hardly 75 days is left. So at that time it is very difficult to practice the answer writing, so better start from now. So you can join our answer writing program. Price is very nominal, yet you'll get high quality evaluation. So you can scan this QR code to join our application. You can also practice the essay answer writing. So both the mains and essay answer writing, it is completely flexible. So you can choose question of your choice. You can choose your time. Okay? So and the number of question you want. So we'll evaluate and give it back to you. And you can also join our mentorship program. It's very low price, yet you'll get high quality mentorship. So Bihar domicile to be given priority in recruitment. school teacher. So this is what said by the Nitish Kumar. That means, in school teacher recruitment, those are people who are belongs to the Bihar given priority in the recruitment process. The consent of women employee must in night shift in Odisha. So recently we have seen that, all over the India. So there is a amendment to the Soft and Establishment Act that try to promote employment of women in the night shift. But thing is that recently we are also seeing that rising instances of violence against the women. So that is the reason, that is the dichotomy. On the one hand, women participation in the industry is increasing. On the other hand, we need to ensure the safety of the women. So otherwise, once they participated, if there is lack of safety, again they will not participate. Again, we'll come back to the an old age, where women participation is very less. So corner and concern over the women's safety, the Odisha government issued notifications continuing measure to create safer workplace environment for them, including ban on complying with adolescent during the night shift. So notification on labor and employment state insurance. So this is given. Just studied, what kind of things need to be provided. So whenever you are talking about an essay or something like that, you can talk about, though we are providing a lot of, for example, women empowerment. So we can say that yes, we are providing empowerment, employment. We are also ensuring women are equal in the workforce, but while at the same time violence against the women is increasing. So for all these things, you need to know all these points. Okay, it is good for your essay also. So absurd to link the special intensive revision in Bihar with Tamil Nadu, avoid false statement. This is what said by the whole panel. So here 2 points are very important. So Article 19(1)(e) of the Constitution and Section 19(b) of Representation of People Act, the Election Commission said that every person who has ordinary resident in constituency shall be entitled to register in the electoral roll of that constituency. So if you are ordinarily resident of a particular constituency, then you will be the register as a the voter of that constituency. So therefore, person originally belongs to Tamil Nadu but ordinarily residing in Delhi is entitled to be registered as elector in Delhi. Similarly, a person originally belongs to the Bihar but ordinarily residing in Chennai is entitled to register as an elector in Chennai. So ordinary resident need only get the citizen, voting right in that particular constituency. So dear student, this is a very good important point about how there is a conflict that has been going on center state government, and because of that how people are suffering. So in India there is a very good thing said that center proposed. So what center proposed and state oppose and local self government dispose. So you can see something is proposed by the central government and it is being opposed by the state government and completely disposed and thrown away by this local self government. If this is the kind of policy we are going to implement, then it will bring disaster instead of ensuring development. So what happening? Just I'm just giving you a context. So you know that Manrega, Mahatma Gandhi National Guarantee Employment Guarantee Yojana. So it is provide 100 days of work to the the rural and manual work to the rural population. But what happening recently, there is a tussle that is going on between the central government and West Bengal government. So because of that, central government suspended the funding to the Manrega, and it is a right that is guaranteed. It's called right to work. So because of central government and state government difference, so people are suffering. So this is what the issue. So just read it. No need to go all this political detail, what happening, what center step, how they are fighting. You need to know about how they are, whenever you are talking about, let's say, federal dispute and centrally sponsored scheme, you can talk about recently dispute between the central government and state government led to the Manrega not being implemented in the West Bengal. So dear student, everything is okay. My voice is audible or not? चलिए लास्ट पेज पे चलते हैं. So the old trees, aging farmer worsen the outlook of palm oil export. So we know that 2 important countries of Southeast Asia, they dominate the palm cultivation, Indonesia and Malaysia. They dominate the cultivation of the palm. But now they have what kind of problem they are facing? So they are facing the aging tree on his plantation 20 kilometers from the Kuala Lumpur are bearing less fruit, but 85-year-old holding of the places them, okay, as he don't want to lose income while waiting 3 to 5 years, take the new tree to start yielding crops. So already the plantation drive that is being taken in the Indonesia and Malaysia, they are quite old and they need to be replanted. If you want to replant, it will take 3 to 5 years for crop to regrow and start yielding the fruit. So it will take a lot of time. And you know that the palm oil is mostly used as a cooking oil, but also it's used for making cakes, cosmetics, cleaning. Product palm oil make more than half of the world vegetable oil supply, and 85% of the crude product come from the Malaysia and Indonesia. So half of the vegetable oil that all are consuming is from palm oil. And out of that total palm oil world is receiving, 85% of palm oil is coming from the Malaysia and Indonesia. And you know that most of the oil are consumed in India. Okay? So after decades of soaring output, the market is now at a tipping point, and combined export from these two countries set to slow sharply. So in future we can expect there is a reduced supply of the oil, and we know that when there is a reduced supply and more demand, there can be high rise in the spike. There is a rise in the price of the palm oil, or in oil in general. Also, the palm oil is diverted for production of biodiesel also. So maybe in future we can expect a rapid rise in the price of the palm oil. So small plantation may be in worse condition than previously thought. As owner failed to replace aging trees, smallholder makes 40% of the plantation across Malaysia and Indonesia. So that means, most of the farmers, they are small farmers. So they cannot easily adopt all these things. So there might be very, drop in the supply of the palm oil. If there is a drop in supply of palm oil, so price may increase very rapidly. So this is a very interesting, next article is very interesting. So random number generated using quantum physics and a blockchain. So I'm just going to tell you a story. So I think you all know that USA started a surveillance in 2001. So not 2000. US started the surveillance around 2001, and it will continue. It is continue up to 2013. So at that time, a contractor of this national security agencies of USA, Edward Snowden, he revealed, here it is given, in September 2013, a whistleblower, Edward Snowden, revealed that American and British intelligence agencies have successfully cracked much of the online encrypted internet user used to keep personal data private. Okay? So they have conducted mass surveillance by the both USA and British intelligence agency to collect all this information. And how this is possible? Because this US agency, they are using some tool to decrypt. For example, if you are sending a message in a WhatsApp hi to your friend, so hi, so it is not visible during travel. It will not visible in form of hi. It will visible in form of 00110000. How this message is convert from hi to digital number? So this is what called encryption. And at the end, this 1011 message will be again decoded back to hi. So the process at the sender, hi, if you are sending hi, it is converting to 1011. Let's say the process, it is converting hi to this digital, again it is convert back. So we need encryption. Here it is, we need encryption. Here we need decryption. But if you are converting by some logic and again converting back another logic, so anyone having access to this encryption and decryption, they can read your message, so which is clear violation of the privacy. So if you understand this, then you'll be able to understand this article very well. So in September 2013, whistleblower Edward Snowden revealed that American and British intelligence agencies have successfully cracked much of the online encryption internet user used to keep personal data private. So that means after that, British and American intelligence agency, they have access to all your personal information. Whatever you are sending in WhatsApp, Facebook, they can read that. Okay? Snowden's solution appeared ironic to many and adopted end-to-end encryption in masses. So after that, recently we have seen how WhatsApp is saying that your message is encrypted end-to-end, because now technology has been adopting so that they prevent any such reading of any third party. So rendering mass surveillance prohibitive and expensive and cumbersome. So the next question is how we are going to how we are converting our text message to the digital format. For that, we use encryption. So end-to-end encryption is an algorithm convert readable data, like how we have sent the hi message. This is what called readable to an unreadable form of decipher text. It can be like 11001110. So by looking into that, you cannot say whether it is hi message or what is your name message. We cannot say, using a string of number letter called key. User with the key can feed into the description algorithm, and which will use it to turn decipher into plain text. That means, if let's say you are sending hi message, let's say आपने hi message भेजा and hi message आपने convert कर लिया. Let's say H we have coded for 1100. and I we have coded 1011. It is completely up to you which number you can assign. So here it is encrypted high messages, like 1100. So at this receiver end, let's say you have sent this message to your girlfriend, so you will again, whenever this 1100, it will read as a H, and 1011 it will read as a I. So that means your friend will receive this message as I message. So this process, same encryption logic you are using here, the algorithm you are using here also need to be used here. Okay. So the end-to-end encryption algorithm convert readable data. That means whatever message you are sending to an unreadable format using string of number and letter called key. A user with a key can fed into the encryption algorithm, which then use it to turn decipher into plain text. The success of any encryption method thus hinge on the secrecy of the key. If this key is anyone know, for example, H is for 1100 and 1011, so anyone can read what message you have sent. Na? So to prevent this unauthorized person from guessing the key, it has to be sufficiently random, lacking the predictable nature. So we need to make this, H, instead of making this constant value 1100, we can make it unpredictable. H value is unpredictable, and this value is also given to the at the end, so that no one can read this message. So how can one does that? So there is a lava lamp. Lava lamp comprising of a lava lamp. There is a lamp. So here there is some vapor. So it is rise fall, and each time it's rise fall, it will take the different shape, not a constant shape. And if lava lamp, the moment it's rise, it is giving different shape, different light. We can take a camera photo of it, and that photo we can convert into digital format, and that can be used to generate both encryption and decryption key. Okay, but still this lava lamp is operated on the basis of some logic, so it can be also used to decodes. But nowadays we can use the quantum computer to generate keys, so which is very difficult to predict. So that is what this news is about. So quantum randomness, quantum mechanics in the study of how matter and light behave at atomic and subatomic level. At this scale, the theory of physics are no longer able to make predictable with certain. So so that mechanics can be used for encryption, so that we can protect our data from read by any other person. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. Next important news is, so senior Israel official urged Trump to end the Gaza war. So we know that the war is entering into 21 months after Israel attacked the Hamas. So now there is severe state of famine. So many people are dying. Even the people in the Israel, those who are soldiers, they are also requesting to Donald Trump ensure that there should not be continuation of this war crime. So be very cautious with nuclear rhetoric, says Russia in reply to the Donald Trump remarks. So recently, Donald Trump given order for dispatch of 2 nuclear submarine to unknown location. So after that, Russia is clearly giving message that we are ready. If you are trying to impose restriction, we are very ready. So Russia called for caution on the Monday after US President Donald Trump said that he would deploy 2 nuclear submarines following online row over the former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev. Okay? So Russia is very attentive to the topic of nuclear non-proliferation. If we believe everyone should be very cautious with the nuclear rhetoric. So against this backdrop, US leader given USA government given an ultimatum to Russia to end this offensive against the Ukraine, or they'll impose fresh sanction against the Russia. So after that, they have deployed this nuclear submarine to put pressure on the Russia. So strategic autonomy is alive and neoliberalism is dead. India take away from Donald Trump era. So after USA is a champion of what? Neoliberalism. That means global order and establishment of the World Bank, IMF, UNSC. So that is what called neoliberal order. So they want a free flow of trade, free flow of goods. There should not be any restriction, less tariff regime. But India always maintains strategic autonomy. We have never aligned with any country. We are in a way that is best serve our interests. Okay? So that is what in challenge, Donald Trump after coming into power, it is challenging that. USA always want India should enter into its camp and distance itself from the Russia. But India always maintains strategic autonomy so that we can protect our interests better. If let's say we are part of the USA, so we lose our relation with the Russia. So we might not get the benefit of favorable trade deal like oil deal that we are getting. We might not get that. Okay? That is the reason we are always maintain the strategic autonomy. But problem is that after Donald Trump coming into power, imposed unilateral sanction without thinking about partner. So that creates a lot of trouble among the, you can say, about the partner countries. Okay? So that is what this article is talking about. Okay? So next is a BNP to oppose July proclamation if it is against the Bangladesh constitution. So recently we have seen the Mohammad Yunus government, caretaker government, after forming government, they have taken so many steps against the policy of the Bangladesh. They have created a lot of troubles. So and they are planning to proclaim a July proclamations to commemorate or celebrate the 1 year of student protest. But BNP, Bangladesh National Party, they believe that the power given to this the Mohammad Yunus government, caretaker government, limited power. But the Mohammad Yunus government, they try to use this as an opportunity to continue their power without conducting elections. ठीक है, चलिए. सो आगे बढ़ते हैं. इसका एक अच्छा आर्टिकल है, आई थिंक आगे पढ़ेंगे उसका भी. सो इंडिपेंडेंट डे इनविटेशन दिस ईयर फीचर चिनाब ब्रिज एंड ऑपरेशन सिंदूर. सो डियर स्टूडेंट, you have to study about Chenab Bridge in detail. So Defense Independence Day invites from the Ministry of Defense from this year Defense Independence Day celebration also have the image of the Chenab Bridge and Operation Sindoor. So you need to know that. And your student, if you want to join our Prelims, UPSC Prelims test series, you can scan this QR code to join it. So next is Bangladesh arrest 48 Indian fishermen, impound 3 boats. Impound means siege. Impound means seizure of 3 boats. So Union Home Department looking into the matter. So district magistrate, arrest fishermen are all from the Sundarban region. So dear student, you have to map the Sundarban and study about Sundarban wetland, national parks and mangroves. So you have to study detail about the Sundarban. Okay? How it is formed, what are the river there, what are the species found there. So, chaliye. So Bangladesh Navy arrested 48 Indian fishermen, including 14 on Saturday, over 20 years of allegedly staying into Bangladeshi water. So it is also impounded 3 trawler. All the fishermen are from Sundarban region. So recently we have seen change in the government in Bangladesh also led to the rising instances of arrest of our Indian fishermen. So that need to be need to be discussed at the highest level, so that we prevent such kind of incident in future. So studies show that a clerical error in document fatal for the citizenship. So I think you all know that in our certificate, in our document, so many errors. Sometimes Royal Bengal Tiger. Yes, it's famous for Royal Bengal Tiger. Nitin Yadav. Yes, you are right. Okay. So you all know that in our certificate, so there is a mistake in your father name, there is a mistake in your name, there is a mistake in your mother name. So your father's surname is different from your surname. So because of that, it creating a lot of citizen problem in your even in the admission, even in your UPSC examination also. Just think of, if that error led to the exclusion of your name from the citizenship, then what kind of problem we are facing. So it is a problem that is error in our government system. It is the error that is committed by our system. It is not your error. So if something is committed by the government and government again punish you, समझ पा रहे हो ना, देखो गलती गवर्नमेंट का होगा फिर आपको ही पनिश करेगा. So it's really wrong. So we need to ensure due process of law. Even if some error is there, it is the responsibility of the government to provide help, everything to a citizen. If yes, Sundarban, I think which is the largest delta of world, which is the largest mangrove forest, which region is having largest mangrove forest in the world. Okay. So here this is an incident is talking about how people are missing their name. I'm just reading it out. So F. Ruindi Rehmat Ali chance to prove his citizenship in Guwahati High Court 2013. Okay. So you can see these are among the several instances of inconsistency in document that have fatal for the citizenship of any in Assam, driven by the pervasive culture of suspicions. A study title undertaking citizens architecture right of violation exclusion of Indian citizenship trial revealed. ठीक है. सो एक स्टडी पब्लिश हुआ था जिसमें हमें मिला कि मतलब जस्ट बिकॉज देयर इज चेंजेस इन द नेम सम सिटीजन हैव बीन एक्सक्लूडेड. ठीक है. सो द सिस्टमिक वायलेशन ऑफ नेचुरल जस्टिस लीडिंग टू द स्टेटस determination such as denying access to the inquiry report and shielding officers. So you can see about if something error, clerical error or something error by very minor, if it is causing someone's citizenship, this is a very severe issue. We have to be ensured due process of law. We need to protect the peoples. So next is Central Pollution Control Board have the power to impose a restitutionary damage. That means if anything is damaged, so compensation pay need to be imposed. So dear student, you have to study about Central Pollution Control Board. So first one is, it is established under which act? Role, responsibility, ठीक है. challenges, and what kind of reform that can be implemented. Okay, this is what you have to study. So the Supreme Court gave the Pollution Control Board more teeth to by declaring their power to impose and collect restitutionary damage to the completely restored polluted area water body back to their original pristine selves in ecosystem. That means, they can impose fine any particular industry, any particular individual, or anyone involved in the pollutions to ensure that it should be protect. Okay, it should be protect. So UNDP. So here you can study about two particular acts. So Water Prevention and Pollution Act 1974, then Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981. So water is 74 and air is 81. So you need to know that, okay? Because this legislation is very important. According to the polluter pay principle, responsibility for repairing damage is that of the offending industry. So pollution pay principle means if you are polluting a particular water body, so it is your responsibility. You have to clean that. Then only this industry will act very responsibly, prevent the pollution. So the focus has to be restoration of ecosystem as close, as similar as possible to the specific one that was damaged. So we have to make sure that whatever damage happened, it should be restored back to their original form. So Pollution Control Board has an expansive power and enormous responsibility under Water Act and Air Act. So it is getting its power from Water Act and Air Act. So not any other act. So you have to study in detail. That is what I'm saying. So whenever you are getting some newspaper, spend 5 to 10 minutes, not more than that. You can use Google, you can use AI, ask it question, then just study something, and then at the end make note of it. Okay. And also don't worry about that also, dear student, whatever I'm discussing here at the evening or after some time, we are also providing a daily current affair. So all this information available there, you can get it also there. The provision under this statute vests over the board with power to direct course, prohibition, regulation of any industry further process. So further, this power extended to directing stoppage or regulation of supply of electricity, water, any other service. The law allow board significant flexibility in deciding nature of the direction. So if a particular industry, they are not looking into the pollution aspect and they are keep polluting, so Central Pollution Control Board have the power. They can order the closure, they can order prohibition, they can order the closure, not supply of the electricity to that particular polluting industry also. ठीक है, तो चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So Operation Sindoor unprecedented in scale. This is what said by our army chief. So you have to know about our military readiness. So all these things are quite important. ठीक है. So we here noted that 88-hour operation were unprecedented in scale, range, depth, and strategic impact. Because we have attacked deep inside the Pakistan. Okay. So armed forces are prepared for fifth generation conflict driven by non-contact, strategic tempo, and psychological dominance. So here these words are very important. So whenever you are talking about nature of warfare, future warfare, so you have to talk about fifth generation conflict driven by non-contact warfare, like cyber warfare, like warfare in the drone. So that is what called non-contact warfare. And then strategic tempo and psychological dominance. For example, during this warfare, we have seen how India, Pakistan both are promoting fake news about downing of some of the Rafale jet by the Pakistan. I think you all know that. That is what called psychological warfare. So you might not have that power, but simply spread the fake news. So to demoralize the morale of your forces. So women inclusion in armed forces priority. This is what said by Rajnath Singh, Minister of Defense Affairs. So the Indian Air Force is having highest share, 13.4. Army is second, and Navy is the last. Okay. So the Parliamentary Consultative Committee under Defense Ministry, Rajnath Singh was briefing representation of women in the armed forces. Singh spoke of government commitment to provide maximum representation to women in the forces. So their main objective is to provide maximum representation to the women. So maximum it is 13.4% Air Force. The next is Navy, and second is about the Army, and next is about the Navy. So 12 branches in Army are open to the women officer, including combat. In Navy, all branches are open for women officer except submarine, because submarine is a very small place. Very small place. It is designed to stay very long for within the water. So we cannot have separate toilets, separate restroom. So it is very difficult to accommodate men and women together. So that is the reason in submarine as of now they are not allowing. So Air Force all are open for the women officer. So So you can see about this. And gradually our women are participating in the armed forces, which is a sign of women empowerment. So whenever we are talking about how recently we have empowered a woman, you can talk about that also, na? So they are opening more and more branches for the women in all category. Women are eligible for various role, including technical, non-technical position, can join through the different entry scheme. Most of the defense training institute and academy have been opened for the women also. So I think the Colonel Sophia Qureshi in Indian Army, who led the Operation Sindur briefing with Wing Commander Bhumika Singh, Air Force, have become an inspiration for the women. So why women are not coming forward? They don't they don't see a role model. They don't see first person. Those who are leading, they are very important. If let's say Kiran Bedi, after looking into the IPS Kiran Bedi, so many women motivated and they have entered into the domain of IPS. Now lot of women each and every year they became the IPS after looking into this Kiran Bedi. Same thing if our women is also looking into that, top level officers are from the women also. So definitely they will also enter into the armed forces. That is what called role modeling. So whenever you are seeing that, let's say you are from a tribal background, and आपने देखे there is a leader, no, there is a, let's say, the chief secretary, there is a election commission of India. Election commission of India is also from tribal background. So that will give you a boost. You can understand that yes, I can also clear this exam and deal. Let's say this election commission of India from an IS officer, and that give you motivations to you to also become an IS officer, and later on you can also hold this kind of position. Na? चलिए, so why progressive and Indian policy on Myanmar is more than plausible? So just you need to understand that Myanmar is having very good border with India, long border with India, not longest border. So you have to study about which country is having longest border with India, second longest country, third longest country. So you need to know about order of our the country having border. So tell me in the comment box which three state is having border with the Myanmar. So there are 4 states that of India that is having border with the Myanmar. So please tell me in the comment box. So New Delhi has long defined its interest in the Southeast Asian country in narrow strategic term. However, it is possible for India to put in place a more progressive, value-driven Myanmar policy that work in favor, not against national interests. So we are going to discuss it in very detail. So recently we have seen the Myanmar junta. That means their military rule. So their military rule is called Military Junta. They have captured the power and declared state of emergency after they have arrested their civilian leader, and this civil war is going for a long. Now the military end the emergency and they are planning to conduct the election for establishment of the governments, and in this process they have killed 5,000 people and displaced 2.5 million people. And in this time, India has supported, we have maintained our relationship with this military regime to ensure that our interest is protected, because here China is quite active. So they also support the military regime. So if we are not going to support this military regime, so we know that Northeast, they might promote insurgency disturbances in Northeast region, so which is very harmful for us. Also, that may lead to the migrant crisis also. That is the reason we have maintained a good relation with the Myanmar. And we are also providing military assistance and other assistance to this armed forces of the military of this Myanmar also. So that led to the some question how India can step out of the Chinese shadow. Okay. So India Myanmar policy long defined by the interest of Southeast Asian countries. So both we are part of, it is Myanmar is part of our Arctic policy and Myanmar is part of the ASEAN. So we want to maintain a good relation with ASEAN. So first need to use the credential as a large federal democracy. India is here the largest democracy of the South Asian nation. So we need to protect the democracy. We need to act against, we need to support the pro-democratic forces. We need not support the regime or military regime that is causing harm to the people. Okay? So this is even more relevant today as democracy resistance in Myanmar led by the National Unity Government. So India can be support to all these democratic forces rather than solely supporting to this military regime. So next is India need to immediately halt its weapon sales to the military junta. So that means, recently we are selling a lot of military hardware to the Myanmar military, and this military, the hardware are being used against its civilians. So we need to control that sale of it. Na? So next third is India need to immediately open cross-border humanitarian corridor. So we need to open our humanitarian corridor so that those people who are suffering from suppression operation at the hand of military, they can take shelter, and we need to provide them the you can say food or add humanitarian aid. But if you look into, but India is not a signatory of the Refugee Convention, nor we have any law that is governing or policy governing the refugee. But if you look into the international convention, it is talking about non-refoulement. That means if citizen is facing threat to their life in a particular region, we cannot driven them out. For example, this is the border in Myanmar. This person is facing threat out to their life. If it is coming to the India, we cannot move them back. This is what called non-refoulement. Okay. And also with Myanmar, if you look into Myanmar, we are also following free movement regime. So that means people in the both border area, they can move crisscross without needing for any sort of permission. So that is also creating a lot of trouble for us. So if we can provide a humanitarian assistance, definitely we can improve our democratic credential. Okay? That is what this article is all about. So here you can see. So here non-refoulement, this is what called non-refoulement. That means if a particular people, they are facing threat to their life in their own country, so we cannot drive them away. Just read something, because Chin people, so then Rohingyas in past also, you see they have asked the Rohingya, they are quite in news, they are found in which part of the world, so they can ask this kind of question also. So this is very important article. So IF, unending fighter conundrum. So recently in India, we have the sanction strength of 42 squadron of aircraft, but now it is being down to 31, and with phasing down of MiG-21, we can further reduce our squadron strength to the 29. Then what is a squadron? Squadron is comprising of 16 to 18 fighter jet in a single squadron. Okay? One squadron having 16 to 18 fighter jet. So I'm just giving a brief. Currently, what kind of fighter jet we are using? We are using MiG-21, MiG-29, Su-30, Sukhoi 30, then Mirage 2000, then Jaguar, then Rafale, then Tejas. So these are the aircraft currently we are using. And this MiG-21, they are quite old, 70-year-old. This is called as flying coffin. So we'll replace all this MiG-21 with Tejas. Okay? And quite some time also our MiG-21 is going to replace. So here you can see also it is given the list of it. So the IF currently squadron strength Sukhoi 30, Jaguar, Mirage, MiG-29, Rafale, LCA, MiG-21. So these are quite old, so we have to eliminate them. And within next 10 year or 15 year, we need to Jaguar, we need to already also, these are also quite old, so we have to phase them down. Next 10 year also, we are going to lose this Mirage, MiG-29. We have to, we have to phase them down. So we have to induct a new fighter jet, for example, light combat aircraft. So we can procure 180, then LCA Mark II. So this is called medium weight aircraft also, medium weight aircraft 120. So then medium role fighter jet also 114. Then AMCA, so advanced medium combat aircraft, this is called AMCA, 5th generation aircraft, we need to purchase 120. So IFLCA during aero, this image is given. So that means, currently what problem we are facing is that most of our aircraft, they're aging, and our sanction strength is 42 squadron. So we need to have 42 squadron to fight two front war with Pakistan and China. But gradually we need 42 fighter jet to fight with Pakistan, to fight with the Pakistan and China. But our squadron strength is now 31. But after phasing down this MiG-21, so our squadron strength will fall to the 29. So we are facing very threat. On the same time, if you look into, yes, I'm just reading it out, so please listen it very carefully. Even in UPSC, they have asked multiple times about this question. Like I think you know that recently in 2023, they asked about fighter jet, their 5th generation fighter jet. So you need to know about this. So after 6 decades of service, MiG-21 fighter jet is set to retire in Air Force. Yes, it is going to retire. So next is all this a time when Chinese Air Force Navy have inducted around 2,000 fighter jet, including 1,300 4th generation aircraft, not including trainers. So this is what report given by the USA agency, and it's also the 5th generation fighter jet. They have also deployed 2 5th generation fighter air jet. India don't have any 5th generation aircraft. Okay, and there is also possibility that supply of 40J35 fifth generation stealth fighter jet to the Pakistan also. So if Pakistan is getting fifth generation fighter aircraft and we don't have any fifth generation aircraft, that can lead to the change in equation of air flight. So that can give more edge to the Pakistan also. So next is in this MiG-21 we have inducted into our Air Force after 1962 Chinese War, and it has been providing service for last 70 years, and total 872 MiG we are procuring, and this is being manufactured, licensed manufactured at the HAL, Hindustan Aeronautic Limited. Okay. But after 20, so we have seen so many accidents that has been happening with MiG-21. So this is called flying coffin. So because of so many pilots died in this accident, so this MiG-21 is also called as flying coffin. Okay. So it also played important role in Kargil War, 1971 war. Okay. So during also Balakot airstrike, our operation, the group captain, the Abhinandan, Group Captain Abhinandan, they strike down one F-16. That means, MiG-21 actually third generation, but F-16 is fourth generation. So if third generation aircraft can, downing a fourth generation aircraft, that is a clear indication of the training of our pilot. Okay. So with MiG-21 out, MiG-29 last of the series, and then we are also having Su-30. These are the Russian origin fighter jet. So gradually we need to replace all these fighter jet, and we need to induct more light combat aircraft. That is called Tejas, light combat aircraft MK2. That is called medium weight aircraft. Then medium role fighter aircraft 114. Then AMCA we have to deliver. We have to procure 120. Okay. So then why India is not able to carry forward its indigenous fighter jet aircraft? So they got to have fighter jet, we need engine. Currently we don't have proper good quality engine. So if you look into Tejas जो lightweight LCA, we are using F404 engine. So that can produce 84 kilonewton of thrust. So that is going to power, but this is we are depending on the General Electric company of USA. But we know that behavior of USA. The moment they feel they can simply sanction on the India. Then the AMCA that we are planning, it is going to use an engine that is indigenously designed, is going to produce 120 kilonewton thrust. But currently in first in the developmental trial, that is called MK1, we are going to use General Electric F414 engine. It is going to generate around 120 kilonewton thrust. But in MK2, we are modifying this engine, or we will design a self, country grown engine, or with self independence, so that no one can control our engine aspect. So because we are developing, we are depending on the USA supply engine. So if there is a delay, so you can see here, General Electric Aerospace is expecting to supply 12 engine in the current fiscal, and that jet would be delivered to the IAF. But recently they have delayed in supply because they are, there is a supply chain issue. So that is what led to the delay in supply of our Tejas also. Okay. So if you look into that, so Defense Ministry signed a contract for 4,800 crore. So to 83 MK1 jet deliver started in 2024. So the Tejas MK1, so it is used HAL 99404 engine, that is what supplied by the General Electric. Okay. So the first engine arrived in India only in April this year after delay of 1.5 years, and second engine deliver early this month. So additionally, total 97 additional jet estimated to be. So we have signed huge contract for the Tejas, but delay is because of the delay in supplying of the engine by the General Electric. And second one is for development of AMCA, Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft. This is the fifth generation aircraft of India. So we will depend on our self-grown or strategic partnership model, which include all the control with India. But it will take a lot of time because we are currently negotiating with French Safran and USA company General Electric. But and also with the Rolls-Royce. But these are very complex technology. No one want to share, or no one want to share with this technology with anyone. So if Pakistan is going to procure some fifth generation aircraft, then we are left with no other option but to procure some fifth generation fighter aircraft. So either we can procure Su-57 from Russia or F-35 from the America. So we have to look into the favorable deal, and we know that how American is not reliable. while at the same time, if we are going to buy some weapon from the Russia, so there might be sanction also. That means we are facing very severe threat. So ultimately, the way out is to develop our self engine. So on the engine front, F414 engine power the LCA Mark II. This is what called medium combat aircraft also, or medium weight aircraft also. So license manufactured by the HAL, which commercial negotiation with General Electric are underway. So AMCA development is envisages two phase. So Mark I development and couple of quarter with General Electric 414 engine, and MCA Mark II we are going to use 110 kilonewton, that is to be co-developed with foreign partner, with talks are underway. Okay, so we will develop the Mark II engine with collaboration with the foreign partner. So this is a very good article. So please read it, so that you'll have fair amount of idea about our quadrant strength, what kind of fighter jet we are using, what kind of challenges we are facing. ठीक है, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next is a brief pause. Physical bank branches are back. So after the digitalization push and banking are moving towards digital UPI payment. So recently we are seeing that more number of bank they are establishing their physical branches. So leading them are the SDFC and ICICI. Okay, so traditionally the presence of physical bank branches allow bank to screen and monitor their borrower. So proximity to the borrower made it easier for bank to gather soft information and monitor their loan closely, especially for the loan collateralized by the movable property. So in seminal paper published, so you can see about the average distance between the bank branch and its borrower increase as a result. So that means to ensure proper goodwill and connection soft information. So the now bank are establishing more physical branch. So over last few years, banking in India has undergone significant churn. Two lessons stand out. One, reversal of the branch closure indicate that bricks and mortar office remain an important means of mobilizing deposit and providing credit. So now, despite the digitalization push, still there is a relevance also. Okay? So here you can see Indian. If physical presence, Indian banks are entering into phygital. Phygital means both physical as well as digital presence. This is what I call phygital. So you have to remember. So if something asks, the phygital term recently seen in news related to what? That means present both physical and digital. चलिए ये इतना ही था, not most important. So India's pandemic toll remain elusive. So during pandemic, how much number of people died, it's not clear. So different estimate given different number, but if you find one thing, you'll get a lot of insight. So civil registration system data has brought into sharp relief the magnitude of excess mortality in India. So according to the civil registration system, we can find normal death in a year and death in the COVID year, and you can make this difference and find what is the death due to COVID-19. So according to the civil registration data, so we are finding that 5.33 lakhs people are died because of the COVID-19. But if you look into World Health Organization data, they are saying 47 lakh are death. So and Indian government rejected that and clearly stated that this estimate or data given are not correct. So that means, whenever you are talking about COVID-19 death, so you can talk about 5.74 lakhs. And rest information they are given, they are not important for our examination. They are doing analysis. So these are not important for our examination because paper is not solely designed for our examination. There is other application as well. So crisis of trust. Election Commission must be more transparent and impartial in its action. So recently we have seen so many level allegation against the Election Commission of India. And this is the high time. Election Commission India should throw open to everyone, make the procedure open, and whatever may be the apprehension. So there should not be any iota of doubt. I think one thing, in a democracy, perception is more important than the reality. So the Election Commission need to remove all this whatsoever may be the allegation, that should be made very clear to the public, so that once people have trust on this Election Commission of India, then no one dare to say anything against the Election Commission of India. Just like the court, we have trust on the court because court have shown time and again, Supreme Court, High Court, they're standing right in protecting right of the people. So people have a lot of trust on the court. Same thing we need to ensure from the Election Commission of India. So Bangladesh, a year after Sheikh Hasina ouster. So this article is talking about after there is a student-led protest in Bangladesh and removal of the Sheikh Hasina government, and then there is a caretaker government formed by the Muhammad Yunus. So basic role of the Muhammad Yunus is to ensure transition, and there is a formation of election, and after that new government will form and take all this decision, and there is a clear restriction on the Muhammad Yunus to take some important decision because he is not the elected leader. But what happened after he coming to power, he used more rhetoric, more religious support, and gradually trying to amend the constitution, trying to delay the elections to hold all this power. They have also established relationship with the Pakistan. They have also improved the ties with the China. They are also severing the relation with the India. So they are also banning some party like Awami League party was banned to contest the election, and supporter of the Awami League party has been brutally killed in the street. And those who are from the other religions, including Hindu, Jain, Muslim, Jain and Buddhist, they have been killed, and other sect of the Muslim are also been killed. So that is what the challenge that Bangladesh is going through. So being a neighbor of India, so if anything turmoil happen, it is very dangerous for India also. So this article is talking about this what kind of thing going on in our neighbors. So next is the missing. Next important article is the missing link in Indian battery waste management. So recently we are pushing towards electric, and we are phasing out the fossil fuel. So for that we need to have good battery, but once battery is damaged, so we need to recycle them, otherwise it will create a battery pollution. So this article is talking about recycling. So we have something called extended producer responsibility. Let's say X is a battery manufacturing company, so manufacture a battery, let's say Y. So at the end of the battery life, so it is the responsibility of the X to recycle the battery and use all the material. But what currently happening, so these companies, they are simply buying the certificate without establishing proper structure of network. So that is led to the all this battery or waste being handled informally without proper documentation. So that means most of the certificate we are generating, they are fraudulently generating without proper. What happening, so there are some fraud company, they simply say that we are taking battery and we are recycling it, but they are in paper, not in reality. They simply dump this waste in the, let's say, water body or this open. So that is what creating more environmental concern. So this article is talking about we need to ensure there should be a price to the extended producer responsibility. Each and every battery manufacturer, they have to pay some price, so that those who are established for recycling of this battery, so they need to be established, they need to invest the technology, invest the infrastructure that is being needed to recycle it. Okay, चलिए तो वही था ये आर्टिकल में, nothing much important. So entire article that is talking about that how it is going to cost India, what kind of implication. So definitely with passage of time, we are going to invest more on the renewable energy. If we are investing more on renewable energy, then we have to ensure recycling of all this material. If we are recycling the lithium, then our demand of lithium will reduce. And if we are recycling it, then it will reduce the environmental impact. But problem is that most of our recycling is done at the informal sector, and people have lack of skill. They are doing manually with their hands. So these are very poisonous substances. If the manufacturer of the battery, if they are providing upfront amount as part of the, at the starting, they are providing funding at the part of the extended producer responsibility, then we can establish good quality of infrastructure. The moment battery damage, we can use that and dismantle that and extract all the important material. So that will going to save a lot of money, also promote our environmental friendly practices. So that is the main crux of this article. So this article is talking about recently India's win against the England is a clear sign that even during the tough time. So I think you all need to know, even if you are facing very tough time during examination before prelims, I think you will face very tough time. You will feel that this year I'm not going to clear prelims, I should not give this attempt, I should skip this attempt. You will feel, but if you are overcoming your all this emotion, if you keep practicing and studying, at the end you will emerge victorious. Okay, so this test teaches one lesson: we have to be patient. So you should not judge yourself until exam judge you. So it is not over when it is not yet over. Okay, so you have to be very careful. Chaliye, dear student, this is all about 5th August, the Hindu newspaper analysis. So dear student, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to this video. Please share this video with your friends so that maximum number of students can benefit from it. Chaliye, we'll have to end here. Take care. Bye bye. Have a good day.